Hi butterflies, welcome to my garden. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And now let's get into the video. Hi guys, it's your girl Calypso and I'm back again. I'm back again, I'm back again, I'm back again, I'm back again. I need to monetize that actually. It's actually starting to grow on me and it just came out of nowhere. Um, so I feel very vibrant today and very colorful and very bold, if you may. It's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like if Frida Kahlo and Amala La Negra somehow had a baby, I feel like I would be a fruit of that union, if you may. This is just me in my own little way paying homage to both beautiful, amazing women, and I just kind of feel very saucy and spicy, but at the same time I feel very ethereal and esoteric and earthy as well. So yeah, let me know what you think about this look. The first time I tried this was my birthday last year. I had the roses in my hair and I had a satin red dress. And I was just strutting up and down, the opera house in Sydney. And I went to lunch with my friends, lunch/dinner with my friends. And I just had a wonderful swell time. So I tried that then and I felt the same way I felt that day. And I'm trying it again today. And I feel the same way I felt the first time I tried it. So I would always hold on to those two as an inspiration, okay? Now, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. So, I don't intend to make this such a serious channel where I'm only talking about serious doom and gloom that directly affect trans people. I just feel like, and this is no shade to the other channels, I just feel like there is more to being a trans woman or being a trans person, period, than just hair and makeup and fashion and don't get me wrong, all those things are very important. All those things are vital, if you may. They're good for the soul. And I will get into that in other videos, but I feel like I also want to touch on things that are actually happening that directly affect trans people. And it's not just the trans people, this is also an education for people who are cisgender. So you take what resonates with you, and then take of it what you will. And you can always learn something. Everybody can learn something if you open your mind to it. So that being said, today I'm going to talk about common myths about trans people. And when I say myth, I mean like a misconception based on a fallacy, based on perception of one person that influenced a whole bunch of people, and now that influence has now become like a common misconception. And they're actually quite common. They're quite they're everywhere. I mean, you'll be surprised how many people still hold on to this myth about trans people. So I'm gonna make this a series where it's going to be broken down into several different parts, because I feel like each myth that I pick and break down is just as important and should be given as much explanation as I can. Not too long, but just a worthy enough explanation. So today I'm going to be talking about the most common one, and that's that transgender people were confused and we're just out to deceive people or trick others, I guess. So this myth is this is the most, like I said, the most common one and the most pervasive one about trans people, that we're out to somehow deceive people and we're just a bunch of confused individuals. So I call it a myth because look, gender dysphoria, and it's a real thing. And when people like me transition, I'm not thinking about men. I'm thinking about me and my well-being. I'm thinking about bettering myself. I'm thinking about matching my mind. I'm thinking about matching my spirit. I'm thinking about getting everything to align within me, to make sense when I look in a mirror, to feel good about myself. Just the same way there's people who go to the gym to feel better about themselves. There's people who lose weight, there's people who change their hair color, there's people who, get nose jobs and surgeries and boob jobs and whatever else to feel good about themselves. This is it's not necessarily the same thing, but it is akin to it, where you're trying to get your body and you're trying to get your mind to align with your body, so that way you can be a little bit more internally satisfied. So that's basically what, in a nutshell, what my transition is for me anyway. I can only speak for myself. But I do believe that there's a lot of transgender people that might share the same sentiment as what I just said. So, also, this myth, because I have notes, okay? So, this myth underpins much of the discrimination that we face. Because then automatically it creates that phobia, it creates that fear, and it creates that sense of uncomfortable, just a sense of discomfort around someone who's transgender, and then therefore the discrimination then follows suit, so that's one of the underpins of it. And basically the perception is that we're all just misleading people by pretending or identifying to be a gender that's different from the ones that we were assigned at birth. So that's the myth. And I already explained the whole process of transitioning and what it means to me, and a lot of people might identify with what I just said as well. So this perception then continuously leads to that old excuse, whenever there's a trans girl who ends up being attacked or assaulted or worse, murdered, a lot of the defense. Look, I'm not a spring chicken, but at the same time I'm not 16 anymore. So I've lived and I've read extensively a lot of the cases that have been filed in regards to a trans girl who was violated in some way. And there's always that old excuse of, oh, I didn't know that this person was trans. And it's in 2021, I'm still like, because there was a case that happened not that long in Australia where they actually tried to go with that defense. Actually, there was more than one case that happened in Australia not that long ago, maybe this year, where they tried to actually go with that defense at first, and it wasn't landing properly. So then they switched it and they decided to use a whole bunch of pretty words. But I don't want to get into all of that because I am still disgusted by that whole situation. But yeah, so people still try to go with that, oh, I didn't know. Okay, let's just say you didn't know. Does that make the fact that you have assaulted this girl, that you have murdered this girl, that you have violated this girl, does that make it okay? Oh, it's okay that this man attacked this woman. It's okay that this person did this to this person. It's okay because he didn't know or she didn't know. Really? I think that excuse should be buried, like the trans panic defense. Is that what they call it? The trans panic? Oh, I didn't know, so I attacked. Like, they need to bury that because it is so, it is, I find it's obsolete at this point. It's obsolete, it's irrelevant, and it's a cliche. It doesn't fly anymore. It doesn't fly. It doesn't. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, this notion that we're out to deceive people creates that defense, and it gives credibility and validity to that trans panic defense. And yeah, we all know how I feel about that. So also, pop culture has also played a part in creating that perception or that myth as well, because as far as I know, if you look at movies like The Crying Game, which was nominated for Academy Awards, and I think it won several Academy Awards. And ironic how the trans character in that movie was played by a cisgender person, but yeah, that's a whole nother story, that's a whole nother video. I have my feelings about that. And movies like The Crying Game, where you can see that this man he meets this girl who is like a cabaret performer, and he is taken with her. He is smitten with her, he's taken with her, yeah, he's just entranced by this girl. And then when they, get a little intimate, that's when he realizes that she is trans, and then he is disgusted by her because he allegedly didn't know that she was trans, and he is disgusted by her to the point where he's throwing up in the bathroom. And he basically just is rude to her and treats her like dirt. But in that context, he actually does have a change of heart, and he does like try to redeem himself in her books in a way. They have a very complicated relationship, but that's one example of how that movie kind of influenced people. Because I can tell you one thing, when that movie came out, there were a lot of parodies and there were a lot of jokes at our expense, at the expense of trans women. So that is one of those pop culture moments that kind of lends to that perception and gives more credit and more validity to that argument, that we're out to deceive people, which 90% of the cases, 90% of the time is not the case. Like, it is not the case. For me, for example, like I said, I have dabbled in online dating, even in person, because let me tell you something, your girl, in the words to paraphrase Jay-Z, I got 99 problems, but a man ain't one, okay? Men will always find me attractive for as long, and this is not me, maybe I'm tooting my own horn a little bit, but hey, I deserve to. I feel cute today. But, excuse me, I'm still coughing. Oh, what a mess. Well, at least I went to see the doctors today, and then finally I went to see a doctor to get a second opinion, actually a third opinion. Finally, someone is listening to me, so I've been put on medication, so hopefully hopefully sooner or later in my next following up videos, I won't be coughing as much on camera. So I apologize. I know someone has noticed that and sent me a message, so it's getting handled, okay? Your girl is on top of it. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, like I said, men will always find me attractive for as long as I live, right? So, when men approach me and, if I'm feeling him and we exchange numbers and we get to texting, I always make it a point to let them know, just in case they don't know, because I fall into the passable category sometimes. Most times, I do. So, I make it a point to let this person know that, hey, just in case you didn't realize it before, this is who I am, and yeah. So I always make it a point to know. And there's always that one or two or three people who's like, oh, not my thing, whatever, next. I would say a good 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 even are still interested. So trust and believe, if a trans girl has been seeing a man for a specific period of time, he knows. He knows. He knows. And ladies, and now I'm talking to the girls now, specifically those girls who live stealth, the girls who are on the down low, the girls who are living stealth and who are not living openly as a trans person. Now, this isn't, because now this excuse of, oh, I didn't know, is usually because of some of y'all. Excuse me. This excuse, usually some of you girls contribute to this excuse. So here's the thing. You can be the most passable, most stealth, most real thing walking, and you can still lose your man to another man, okay? And this goes to the cisgender girls too. So the point being, be honest and be authentic, especially if you intend on sleeping with this man, because a man is I'm not even going to go into the complexities of how men think, because honey, I used to be one and I still can't figure them out, so I don't know. But please if you intend to sleep with this man, if you intend to date this man, you know, I'm not talking about a one night stand, okay? But if you intend to actually date this man or see this person on a regular basis, which is more than a one night stand, please be honest and please let him know who you are. Let that be his choice to keep seeing you. Because we're getting killed out here. We're still getting assaulted. We're still getting attacked out here. And if we can do anything to help it, girls, please do it. Please do it. Now, speaking of pop culture again, another movie that was quite popular and was very well in terms of the parodies and in terms of pop culture influence, another movie that also contributed to this perception is M. Butterfly as well. Now, go see it if you haven't seen it. But it's also a situation where there was this French soldier back in the war days who was in China, and then he falls in love with this performer, singer, whatever that person was, and then he didn't know that that was a man. And another movie that linked to that whole transgender myth about us being misleading or confusing other people, deceiving other people, is I think the 2002 movie. Was it 2002, 2001? Anyway, I'll find out. The Joanna Man movie, the one with Vivica Fox and Genuine. Anyway, but that movie was kind of ripped apart by critics because a lot of the jokes just it's such an old joke and it's such a tired storyline. So, but also what that movie did to people who were already ignorant, it also lended to that perception that we are out to deceive people as well. So that was another example of a pop culture moment that lended to that perception and the myth about trans people, because ultimately people just assume that we are all men in dresses walking around trying to deceive people that we're women, and that's not really the case. So yes, I just wanted to put that quick reminder of another movie that contributed to that factor. So yes, that's another example, that Joanna Man movie. If you haven't seen it, you're not missing anything. But yeah, that's an example. You can see for yourself if you wish to, but I wouldn't advise you to see it because that movie was just a flop. No shade, but shade. Yeah. So that's just one of those things, or one of those theories that lends into the validity that, oh, we're just out here deceiving guys, we're just out here turning tricks for dick. Did I just say the D word? We're just out here turning tricks and doing that. And that's not the case. Speaking from experience, I have never deceived anybody, at least not on purpose anyway. I have always come clean and been like, okay, yo, this is who I am. If you're still interested, then we can kick it and we can see where it goes. If not, next. And don't beat yourself down for being, if a man is not interested, don't beat yourself down, because there will always be another and another. You know, for every man who is not interested, there's 2 others or 3 others or 4 others who are interested. So having said that, I say that to say that perception, as much of a myth as it is, we girls have to do our part to help the situation, because people are still buying that bullshit excuse and it's, obsolete, okay? So girls, if you know better, do better, because these people out here, they're not really showing us a lot of sympathy. So let's just try to protect ourselves and try to be smart about the way we move through the world, okay? So having said that, thanks for listening to me ramble yet again and run my mouth. I hope you learned something today, and ultimately I'm just here to, share my life and share my journey and share tidbits of myself with you all. So thanks for tuning in yet again. So take care of each other, protect your energy, keep the peace, and be kind. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.